welcome everybody to today's session. We will be doing the commodities market outlook for the 23rd to 27th of November, presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. We'll be analysing the latest developments in the commodities markets. We'll be discussing our outlook for the week ahead. The live session will be covering an overview of the commodity markets, the top trades of the week, live market commentary, trading ideas for the week ahead, and of course any questions at all, do fire those through during the session to myself. We will go through those towards the end of the session as well. So just before we get started, for those of you who are new to the weekly Commodities Corner session, let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. We are an international commodities trading, research and advisory group. We specialize in the precious metals, the energies and the agricultural markets. We are recognized as the leading go-to authority on commodities. As internationally respected experts, our analysis, our opinions on the metals, the energies and the agricultural markets, they are routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications which include Bloomberg, Reuters, CNN, Global Banking and Finance Review and the Wall Street Journal. Our team of experts has advised and taught technical analysis, fundamental research and portfolio management to more than 75,000 private and institutional traders worldwide. So for further information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, please do go to the website. It's just www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. Right, what we'll do, we'll have a look at the gold price. Gold is actually looking very interesting this morning. We're coming off a very close major support zone sitting at 5-year lows. Gold is currently trading at 1,072 US dollars per ounce. So we'll take a look at that very shortly. Silver has broken key support today, 5-year lows as well. So there's lots for us to have a look at. And I'll be going through the major news announcements as well, which we want to take advantage of over the month of December. So we've got really some lucrative trading opportunities coming up over the next 6 weeks here. Before we do so, we'll look at the top trades of the week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies. In fact, we've had some lovely trade opportunities on the precious metals again over the last week. We've got another breakdown on platinum for over 260 points profit. So once we broke key support on the left here, once we closed below that level, we've had additional trade opportunities as we've seen the platinum market continue to break down. Gold has also given us more selling opportunities. We still have a sell on gold. Actually, we discussed this on the Trading Club session for everybody about a week and a half ago. We went over the gold setups that we were in and also the oil setups. We've continued to have a nice sell-off on gold. We had another day trade opportunity as well on gold last week for 160 points, and we've been in our oil trade now, just going back to once we broke through key support on Brent crude oil for over 210 points. That has worked out very nicely indeed. So that's some of the top trades that we've had over the last week. What we'll do, we'll bring out the live market analysis, and we'll start off with the precious metals here. So first of all, we'll have a look at silver. Now silver is looking very interesting indeed this morning. Now we are at a key level of support. We've come down and we've retested 5-year lows just this morning. We've retested $14 an ounce. Now what is very important for our positions at the moment at the Gold and Silver Club is whether we actually get a break and a close below this major support zone. So if we do get a break and a close below 13.95, we will look to take advantage of more momentum to the upside. That is a very key level of support. Now if we do break and close back above it again, so if we can close back above $14.10 an ounce today, that will mean that level is still being supported. There are a lot of buyers. There's definitely going to be a battle between the bulls and the bears today. The buyers and sellers are going to battle it out around this zone, so it's very interesting. I want to see how we close today, whether we pick up momentum to the downside. We've had several rejection candles over Thursday and Friday last week. We've now breached those candles to the low. You can see the Friday's lows, Thursday's lows have broken down. We've now taken out weekly lows. We're actually not been this low since August. At the current levels, we've actually taken out that level as well. So if we have a look, if we zoom it right out here, you can see very clearly we've not really seen these levels since about 2009, and we are a major level at the moment. So silver right now, for me, you definitely want to have this on your radar. Most important point on silver today is whether we get a break, and we've broken already, but whether we close now below 13.95. If we do, that will open the gates up to more downside now as we continue to progress into the US session and to progress into this week, and there will be opportunities to sell that short if we do get a break and a close below major support. You can see here again, if we just look at the weekly chart, this has been the move since the FOMC statement at the end of October, where we saw a breakout on the US dollar. There's a lot of speculation that we will get a rate hike in December. That has given a lot more strength to the US dollar, and we've seen just the precious metals come down and really break through key support, and they're sitting right at their 5-year lows at the moment. So definitely precious metals in firm focus today. Now if you move it over and have a look at gold, gold has also, it's breached support here. You can see on the left of the chart, this was the major zone that we took out about a week and a half ago. You can see where we broke through major support sitting around $1,080 per ounce. We've since closed below that level. Now what we're starting to see is a bit of a support and resistance channel building. You can have a look at this, just drawing your trend channels, and you can see here on gold where we're finding rejection at the upper end of this trend channel, and we're finding support at the lower end. We retested the upper end of the trend channel on Friday. After this big breakout on Thursday, we wanted to see whether that would be a confirmed move, whether we would get a breakout above the resistance channel and start to build some momentum, but it was a failed move. We just saw a rejection candle on Friday. We've since broken the lows of that rejection. You can see we sold off quite nicely this morning. Bit of a retracement, but currently we're sitting at $1,072 per ounce. I would anticipate if we can continue the momentum to the downside that we get a rotation initially down to support, which is around $1,060 per ounce, and then potentially back down to the lower end of this trend channel as well, just on the daily, where you can see we're tending to ricochet between support and resistance. So if the US dollar increases its strength, if we continue to see this sell-off, there is good potential for more downside here with gold as well. We are starting to form a bit of a base at these levels. You can see we've been consolidating quite a bit. We've got a bit of a rejection candle again, just forming around the 170 zones. There's definitely some buys around this zone, but if we get a definitive break and a close below this level, again, same situation with silver, I would expect the momentum to pick up to the downside, and we want to take advantage of that weakness in gold because we could really start to see a lot of stop losses get taken out, and we could see the momentum pick up to the downside in a big way. So definitely gold and silver are in firm focus today. We'll be keeping an eye on that price structure throughout the afternoon, and we have our sell shorts still on these markets, so we'll be watching them very closely. Platinum and palladium, we've seen very similar moves. We've had a good breakdown. Platinum, essentially what it did here was you can see here dead cat bounce where it found support around $885 per ounce, rotated back towards the upper end of its trend channel. It's following its channels really nicely here on the daily chart. We came all the way back. This is where we rotated just before the FOMC statement. We started to roll over at the resistance zone, so these trend lines, and then you can see we've had some incredible sell-offs here. The consecutive lower lows, lower highs. It's been a huge sell-off here over the last month or so since we had the FOMC statement. In 3 weeks, we've had a lovely sell short opportunity. So there's been a lot of weakness here as we've seen a very strong US dollar. And right now we're sitting at the lower end of the trend channel. We are consolidating a bit of this zone. We are getting quite oversold on palladium and platinum at the moment. If we do break and close below this supportive channel, we could see momentum to the downside escalate, or we'll continue to consolidate. We could get a breakout from this zone. I am keeping an eye on it purely because on the weekly chart, we've formed quite a small candle on the weekly right at the lower end of the support zone. If that gets triggered to the upside, we could start to see a move towards the upside for the Santa rally as we head into December. So remember, this is the last week of November. In fact, Monday is the very last day of November. It's the last full trading week of November. We're coming into Thanksgiving and also Black Friday at the end of this week, which I'll discuss in a little bit more detail when we come to the Q&A section as well. But if we move over and have a look now at the other metals, you can see we've had a lot of confidence here through all the markets. Aluminium has significantly broken down over the last week. Again, we've retested the lows of 2015, so we've got good correlations. If you have a look at the other metals such as zinc also produced a strong rejection candle, overall downward trend. So all the metals are looking very weak at the moment. There's lots of confluence, lots of correlation between all of the metals. The other metal you want to just have on your radar at the moment is going to be copper as well, which has had quite a significant move over the last month since the FOMC. Now, what was important about copper is that it finally did. We had a pennant formation. We broke the low of that pennant, closed below major support. In fact, we were discussing this going back to the Traders Club a couple of weeks back. If copper, whether it would consolidate after it broke support or whether it would continue the momentum to the downside, well, once it got that break and closed below major support, it did really continue the momentum to the downside. You can see this is what we'd anticipate now on silver and gold. Once you get closes below major support, you really start to see a lot of traders jump out of that market. You start to see stop losses get hit, and just a lot of traders will no longer want to be in that for certainly a buy, and you'll start to see more pressure to the downside. And you can see copper here where it's really picked up momentum to the downside. It's currently sitting at 4491, so we've had a significant breakdown. Now, I don't see a new trading opportunity on copper at the moment. The move's already occurred. You can see on the weekly there, we've had a huge breakdown. We are getting quite overextended on copper at the moment. Copper quite strongly correlated to oil as well. We've seen sell-offs on both Brent and light sweet crude oil over the last couple of weeks. In fact, we'll have a look at those markets, which are looking quite interesting today. We broke down initially earlier on today, then we've since retraced a little bit, so there's definitely some indecision. What I want to see here as well on light sweet crude oil, you can see we've continued to bounce around the 41.22 zone. We've had that level tested now for about 5 days, where we've just continued to bounce across this major supportive channel. So you can see we've continued to find support at that level. We've finally broken through that zone, and we've just retraced into this supportive level. So you can see we've been sitting around 41.22, finally broken below the level, and today we've retraced. Really what we need to see here on oil is a break and a close below that major supportive level of 41.22. If we do break and close below it, we can really then anticipate the momentum to pick up to the downside. Now if we have a look at the weekly chart, you can see we've got a bit of a doji developing right around a key Fibonacci level as well. So today is going to be again important for oil. I'll move it over as well to have a look at Brent crude oil. You can see on Brent it's still finding support around this key zone of 43.16 here. We've had quite a few bounces, got a consolidation of box forming. So essentially I want to see, we've had a good sell-off here on oil. We've done very well to take advantage of this pressure to the downside, but we're definitely getting supported at the moment around the 43 zone. You can see that's providing a lot of rejection. Again, you've got this battle on between the bulls and the bears around this zone. If we break above resistance here with oil, if we break above the 46 level, if we break and close above that level, we can really start to anticipate potential momentum pick up to the upside. So again, we need to get a resolution here on oil. We'll take it over to the weekly chart. We broke through the pennant formation. We've been selling oil for the last couple of weeks. However, it could be a point to start thinking about either taking the profits off the table here for sell shorts, or potentially turning the position and going long if we find this whole area does get supported and we break and close above this supportive zone. Okay, so definitely for me, oil is going to be one to watch over the course of this week. Now, actually that takes me into Thanksgiving really and Cyber Friday, so it's a good time to mention that. So later on this week on Thursday we have Thanksgiving in America. Now Thanksgiving is a bank holiday in America, and then you've got Black Friday. So Black Friday is the huge event in America, but it's becoming more popular around the world as a big day for retail sales, consumer spending. And what you tend to see in previous years is due to especially if we get record sales again, when you get a lot of consumer spending and you see a lot of optimism in the markets around the holiday season, it tends to prompt rallies in the stock markets and also in the US dollar. And if we do see strength, particularly in the US economy through the record sales, consumer spending and retail sales, we can see strength in the US dollar. And the way we want to look at that is for inverse correlations on the precious metals. For example, if we see strength in the US dollar, we could expect some weakness over the metals and other commodities that are priced in the US dollars. Then as we head into the first week of December, Monday is Cyber Monday, where typically you have huge online sales just before the Christmas period. And then we'll be starting to move into December, which we've got a lot of lucrative announcements in December. So first of all, we have on Friday, the 4th of December, we have the OPEC meeting, which is going to be big for oil. Last year, we saw after the OPEC meeting, we saw oil drop 700 points in 2 days, which was a huge move, and ultimately 1,500 points in 2 weeks. So if oil was to have a similar move to what it did last year in OPEC, that would mean the equivalent over a 2-week period. If it was to break down in this fashion, it could break out to the upside just depending on the OPEC announcement, but we would see the price, that would be the equivalent of oil coming down to 27, okay, if it had the same move as last year over a 2-week period. That is the extent of the impact of the OPEC announcement. So that is on Friday, the 4th of December. You don't want to miss that. We'll also be trading that live at the Gold and Silver Club. Then on Friday, we've got the non-farm payrolls, which will also be quite an important non-farm payroll, because we have the interest rate decision coming up on Wednesday the 16th of December, and the numbers which come out of the Friday the 4th of December non-farm payrolls will be instrumental in whether the FOMC or the Fed does decide to put up interest rates in December. So that is the Wednesday the 16th of December. So you can see we've definitely got some lucrative trading opportunities, and we also have something coming up known as the Santa Rally, which typically begins at the beginning of December. So there are some great trading opportunities. I'll talk about that a little bit later in the session, how you can actually, if you would like to find out more to trade those live with the Gold and Silver Club, how you can do so as well. But that is a few key events that you want to have in your diary. Friday the 4th of December and also Wednesday the 16th of December will be big movers for oil, for gold, for the precious metals. Will be definitely one you don't want to miss. Now if we move over and have a look at the other energy, natural gas here did gap down quite significantly on the open just today. We can see we actually had a bear flag formation formed last week. We continued to consolidate after this breakdown in price, and then we've just come down, broken through the lows here. So it looks like we could build up some momentum to the downside here for oil. If you have a look at the weekly chart, you can see where we're getting more bearish. We've got quite clear trend channels actually just forming on natural gas at the moment. So we're continuing to see this momentum to the downside. I'm awaiting for the next really good risk to reward setup on oil, natural gas right now. Right now we don't have that, but I do know we have broken below the low of this supported channel. There may be an opportunity if we come up and retest the trend line, give it a goodbye kiss where previous support becomes resistance, we can have a nice sell short opportunity here on natural gas. Now I'll move it over to the grains because there have been some good opportunities, certainly even today on soybeans, wheat and corn. Soybeans, first of all, important. We discussed this last week. We had a V-shaped reversal pattern, a very clear neckline to break on the V-shaped reversal pattern here. If we go out to the weekly chart, you will see that we've finally broken and closed below 6-year lows here on soybeans. So we're really starting to pick up momentum to the downside. Today we broke support. I do see this. This is a trade that we've automatically been entered into on a sell short now that we've broken major support. I would like to see a break and a close now below support and the momentum to pick up. I do see this as a good trade idea. It's certainly, we've broken through key support here, and I just would like to see the momentum pick up to the downside for soybeans. So this is definitely one again for your radar. If we move it over and have a look at wheat, wheat also similar price structure. We've had a nice sell-off over the last couple of days. You can see we've got a doji which has formed here just on the daily chart so far today. We've got a major support zone of 480 that we want to break and close below that level. If we do break and close below it, we could really start to see the momentum pick up to the downside. We're still consolidating just to the 480 zone at the moment, but if we do break and close below that support, then we've got a lot of clean air until we get to about 465. So keeping an eye on wheat as well, and corn, a very similar situation as well as continuing to consolidate. We can see here just consolidating around the 365 zone. Again, if we break below that level, I would look for a move back down to 355 zone. So I do see opportunities also on the grains. Probably a couple more days for wheat and corn to play out, but soybeans is leading the move at the moment to the downside. Now, if we go over to some of the other softs as well, we can first of all just have a look at cocoa. Now, cocoa looks interesting on the weekly chart. You'll note we came up to a major resistance zone at 3379 on the weekly, and we've just formed a doji last week. We've already started to break through last week's lows here, so what I would anticipate is the potential for a rotation back down towards the lower end of the trend channel here, the sideways trend channel, very key horizontal support and resistance. So we might actually be the start of a much larger pullback. So I would definitely have cocoa on your radar. We look like technically we could get a rotation lower here after coming up to significant resistance and not closing above it. So it looks like a false breakout. So I would anticipate a potential good sell short opportunity from here. So again, one for your radar. And finally, if we have a look at coffee as well, coffee has had quite a strong move last week. Now, coffee, I'm looking to see whether it can pick up a bit more momentum and come back up to the upper end of its trend channel. It's been ricocheting between this support and resistance channel throughout most of 2015. It's been incredible. There's been opportunities to buy every time we've come down to the lower end of the support zone and opportunities to sell at resistance. So that's just been really nice, clear, very strong technical trade in order just to buy and sell, buy at support and sell off resistance. So those are some of the key trade ideas that we are looking at as we start off the week. There's definitely no shortage of trading opportunities over the course of this week. We're already seeing some really nice moves, particularly the breakdown that we're seeing at the moment in the metals. I want to see if that is going to pick up momentum to the downside throughout the rest of today, particularly if we have a look at markets such as gold and also silver, which are breaking through their major support. Silver will be very interesting today. If it does close below $14 an ounce. That will be, we haven't seen that in a long time, and over 5 years for silver. It's really going to be quite a significant shakeout for the market. So for me, I'm keeping a very close eye on that, and also excited about the trading opportunities as we come into Thanksgiving and the Black Friday and Cyber Monday next week, and particularly next week's non-farm payroll and OPEC meeting next Friday. So there's definitely lots going on as we approach December. Now, if you would like more daily commodities analysis, live trading ideas, which we personally use to implement, there is an opportunity to join the Private Traders Club. I will just show you, it's very straightforward. If you want to get more information, just go to www.theprivatetradersclub.com. Okay, so it's just www.theprivatetradersclub.com, and you'll get more information about it. Essentially, what the Private Traders Club really includes is access to markets, the markets trading course. So that is a very comprehensive trading course, our signature trading course, which really is designed to give you thorough understanding of the commodity markets, along with proven fundamental and technical trading strategies. I mean, who is it good for? This sort of trading, I mean, it's really good for beginners to advanced level, particularly if you've not got much experience in the commodities. It might be that you've been trading Forex or the stock market, but you don't have experience in commodities. This will really give you a solid fundamental base and a really good, very deep level of knowledge and understanding of how professional traders, investment banks, hedge funds, how we trade the commodity markets. One of the most comprehensive commodity trading programs available anywhere in the world. Really teach you everything you need to know to become a consistent and profitable trader. A lot of traders actually join us also because they don't want to, same reason you come to the Traders Club as well, and the events, possibly you don't want to be trading by yourself, you don't want to feel alone or lost, you just wish you could interact with other traders. You want to be part of a community of successful traders, and the Private Traders Club is definitely there for you. That is what we have there. You've got access to a community of successful traders who've been trading the commodities for a number of years. You've also got mentorship via ourselves at the Gold and Silver Club to really guide you. Now, during our live trade setups, we actually provide our members get daily access to highly profitable trade setups across commodity markets, from precious metals, energies to agricultural markets. We provide setups shared on the forum with our entry points, our exit points, profit targets. So everything is pretty very clearly laid out for you, and we also provide an inside track. It's the week ahead trading plan, so we provide that the weekend to our private members. You receive the Gold and Silver Club exclusive inside track, so it just gives you a comprehensive trading plan outlining all the major economic events in the coming weeks. So we've just gone through some today, such as non-farm payroll and also the OPEC announcement next Friday, and Thanksgiving, Black Friday this week. So it goes into more detail on those, exactly the sort of trade setups that we are getting into, and really enables you to be fully prepared for the week ahead there. And finally, we provide live technical analysis videos, so those are great. So just during the course of the week, you get access to our live trading rooms and also the recordings of that. So you watch the Gold and Silver Club experts analyze the commodity markets right in front of you, picking out our own trade setups. We show exact entry, exit points, our profit targets, the stop losses on the trades, as well as walking you through our live trade ideas step by step. So those live technical analysis videos really help you to understand the implementation of all of the trade setups that we're taking. Of course, you get VIP email support at the Gold and Silver Club, so any questions, any comments, you're not alone in the Gold and Silver Club. You are fully supported with every single trade. Okay, so that's just a little bit more detail for everybody regarding the Private Traders Club. What I'll do now, in fact, for enrollment to the Private Traders Club, it is by application only. Now, we are, because of the major news announcements we've got coming up over the next 5 or 6 weeks now as we come into Christmas, we have limited availability on how many traders we can actually take up. We've almost fully booked actually for our enrollment for December, because we are going to be trading non-farm payroll live, the OPEC meeting, the FOMC announcement. So I would urge you, if it is of interest, if it is something you would like to get involved in, join us at the Private Traders Club. You do need to just complete that application form ASAP to make sure you get on the December enrollment. So very simply, it's just going to www.theprivatetradersclub.com, and once that application form is filled out, we'll get in touch with you ASAP.